Shalom and welcome to Psychology of the Parsha for Parshat Pinchas. One of the many topics covered in this week's Parsha is the preparation for the passing of Moshe and the transfer of power, if I may. Hashem says to Moshe, go up to Mount Nebo, and scan the land, see the land, and then you're going to pass away. Moshe, the great leader that he is, doesn't think of himself. Rather, he says to Hashem, who's going to lead the people? And Hashem says to him, your disciple, Yehoshua bin Nun. Yehoshua, the son of Nun. Who is this Yehoshua? Well, he was one of the heroes in the story of the spies. He and his colleague Kalev did not succumb to the evil plans of the spies. But what's special about him? Why was he chosen? In fact, the real question is, where are Moshe's sons? Especially being consistent with the fact that the Torah actually deems a position such as what Moshe had, a leadership position, to be something that actually should be passed on from father to son. Of course, considering that the son is fit for the job, or the particular son that's fit for the job. And here we don't find that Moshe's two sons, any of them, we don't hear of them again. Why was he chosen, Yehoshua? What were his virtues? The sages tell us that Yehoshua was the student, quote, that lo yamish mitoch ha'ohel. He never moved away from the tent. Meaning, he was there. He did not budge. He was always in Moshe's presence. Even when Moshe wasn't around, even when Moshe wasn't physically present, he was there. The closest he can be to his master. Where do we find that? Well, by the unfortunate story of the golden calf. When Moshe comes down from the mountains after having been gone for 40 days and 40 nights. Moshe obviously has no clue what's going on down here because he was up there. But when Moshe asks Yehoshua, Yeshua also doesn't seem to know what's going on there. Why not? Yeshua says, I hear some noise. I hear cheering. Maybe it's just a party. And Moshe says, no. Moshe tells him what's going on down there. Why wouldn't Yeshua know? Yeshua was with his feet on the ground. The answer is that Yeshua was literally plastered to the mountain. He was there waiting for his master. He didn't go anywhere. He wasn't part of all that. He wasn't there together with the people. He was totally out of it all because his master was gone. Furthermore, the sages tell us, Yehoshua was the disciple that not only did his best with true diligence to study, but he actually also served. And when I say served, I mean in the sense of servant. He made sure to always prepare the study hall, to always set up the seating, to set up all the comforts necessary for those who come to study by Moshe. He wasn't just somebody that has nose in the books, but he was an all-around guy. He really cared, not only about the learning itself, but everything it took to make the learning a pleasant experience. If I had to summarize it in one word, who is this Yehoshua? What is Yehoshua's virtue? Diligence, which obviously includes commitment, steadfastness, determination, all of the above. This is something very, very important. Unfortunately, too often, we find ourselves hailing, appreciating, celebrating, the smart one, the one who has this great IQ, somebody who has maybe even knowledge, but hasn't worked hard on it. that is not a virtue. That's just a God-given gift. And it's happening almost, if you may, almost by accident, almost on its own. The real true virtue, as far as the Torah is concerned, and something that most certainly needs to be celebrated and highlighted and promoted, is somebody who's diligent. I don't know if Yehoshua was as smart as Moshe. In fact, it says Moshe was like the sun and Yehoshua is like the moon, just receiving the light from Moshe. But the fact is, in terms of leadership virtue, in terms of getting the job done, who's the one who brought the Jews into Israel? Who was given the merit of actually transferring them from being a nation in the desert to a nation that now inherit the land? Yehoshua. Why? Not necessarily because he had the greatest IQ or acquired so much knowledge. I don't know that he did or didn't. But what we do know about him is that he was diligent. He was determined. This meant everything to him. He seized every opportunity to be with Moshe, around Moshe, learning from Moshe. And in fact, for that matter, even when the opportunity wasn't really there or available, he did everything he can to create such an opportunity. It's important for us, when we give credit as teachers, as parents, to look out for those children, to look out for those students who give it all they got. Or those that may not necessarily be the smartest, the sharpest, nails in the shed. But encourage them. Give them that drive for diligence. And that will bring out their success. Shalom.